As always, I will give you the one screen cheat sheet of all the new stuff that we've seen this week. First of all, we have color variables. We declare them to be of type color, and then we assign to them using the constructor color, followed by red, green, blue, or if you're in HSB land, those would be HSB values. Use the shorthand math. You're going to love this, and the sooner you get used to it, really the happier you're going to be, and you're going to be able to read these expressions as easily as you read the English word dog or strawberry. The plus plus and minus minus can come before or after a variable. If it comes before the variable, it means add or subtract 1 before the value of the variable is used. If it comes after, it means use the variable and then increment or decrement it by 1. As you can see in the left-hand column, that's an entire expression. A++ means add 1 to A, and that's a complete thing. Or you can use that as part of an expression where maybe you add it to other things and assign it to some other variable. In the right-hand column, we have the math shortcuts. The top one, A plus equals B, is shorthand for A equals A plus B. Second one is C equals C minus D. Third one is E equals E times F. And the last one is G equals G divided by H. These little shorthands are so common and they're used by everyone everywhere that, again, the sooner you start typing them and getting them under your fingertips, the sooner they will become like second nature to you. Functions are created by first giving the type of the function, in this case an int. It can be any type we've seen, color or float, or if it returns nothing, it's of the special type void. Then the name of the function, here it's just the letter F. Open parenthesis is required. A list of the arguments, all the things that go in, separated by commas. If there are no arguments, you still need the parens, but it's just open close paren. Then a space and an open curly brace. Then you have all the lines of the function, indented one tab stop, and when you're all done, the close curly brace. In the function, to return a value, you simply say return, and you name the value you want to return. In this little example, because it returns an integer, I'm assuming somewhere in there we declared the integer variable I. If the function is of type void, then you just have return. Because it doesn't return a value, it just returns. We also talked about global variables. Until now, we've only been using local variables. Global variables are declared outside of any function, but are shared by all the functions in your program. Global variables give us a great way to share information between functions without passing explicit arguments. And they give us a way to remember information from one frame to the next. My convention is to always start global variables with a capital letter, and always start local variables with a lowercase letter, so I can tell which is which at a glance. Not everyone uses that convention. For example, processing doesn't, but I've always found it useful. Interaction with the keyboard uses the global variable key, which holds the character that was just pressed or released, and once that event happens, processing calls key typed or key released. And then you use the global variable key to respond to that event. And finally, if statements. The word if, followed by a space and an open parenthesis, and then a test, followed by a closed parenthesis and an open curly brace, something with a closed curly brace at the end. If the test is true, that statement is executed. That could be the end of it, or you can follow it with an else, and everything that follows the else is executed if the test was false. And as we've seen, what can follow the else is more if statements, if you want. In the test, you have something that evaluates to a Boolean. A is greater than 5. Or you can build things up. A is greater than 5 and B is less than 10. Remember, if you're testing for equality, you use 2 equal signs because 1 equal sign means assignment. This is a lot of stuff, so I recommend digging into it just one piece at a time and slowly growing your bag of tricks as you use these techniques one piece at a time.